So it's Sunday morning, and I'm out of breath. I'm knackered. Trying to get these bars out the grifter. Forks and bars separated, so I can get those forks straightened out in the vise. Bit of 4x2 wood in between the forks, or clamp, and widen the distance between the two fork arms themselves. I managed to get them level, but the bars needed coming out. Not to get them painted, but I need to get the bars out so I can do bearings and get them straight, because they were sitting on a wonk, as you know. Let's show you quickly what I've got up to now. Okay, so I know I should have used some sort of protection over the fork thimbles, but hey, this bike is battered and it's a survivor. I could have cut them out, but that's not my game. Just want to preserve it and so on. The forks now are sitting level-ish, but I need to widen that gap because they are about that far out of the spindle for the front wheel. So in a vise, I'm going back and forth, and so on. You saw it move there, didn't you? I can get them even. That's not a problem, but I've already started now bringing them out of the bars, out of the forks out of the bars. But I want to get them all out so I can give the headset a clean, not rechrome, just a clean, all fresh bearings. And these are going to be a lot easier to get straight when they're not in the frame. So bike's come along nicely. I've been reading all your comments about how I should preserve that rust, and yeah, that rust is getting preserved. I've made a start on getting some of it off, but there's going to be a lot of rust still showing, intentionally keeping. Not, oh, I can't get that bit out. Just going to go over it with an oily rag, some oil, and just preserve that rust. I'm even going to go down a route of not taking that back mudguard out. It got snapped off there as a kid. Someone done that, probably the original owner. I could JB weld a section onto that rear mudguard. I could do that. Got a few bits out, nothing exciting, just the front mud flap, which is quite cool. All that rust in there. Again, oily rag, wipe over. And this must be the only grifter that's not had the front mud flap, excuse me, the front mud flap pushed on the tyre to make a motorbike sound. And I think for preservations and that sort of thing, I'll just I'll do a separate video at some point, a motorbike sound. Anyway, I've got a camera lady here today. The missus is going to hold a camera for me. And we're going to try and get those bars out. Probably about a quarter of an hour worth, but don't worry, alright, I shan't put you through a trauma. There will be some editing involved with that, cutting some time out. Hopefully, in about 2 minutes, you should see these bars out. So in this section here, the bars do come out, and also the forks get straightened to near perfect match against an original unbent pair of forks I have for sale at the minute, which I'm using as a template, as a match. So yeah, well chuffed that the forks and bars are going to get fixed. And yeah, let's cut back in now and continue the rest of this footage. It is. You can feel it. Beautiful. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm knackered, I'm out of breath. Result. Absolute result. So pleased those bars are out. So pleased those bars are out. Look at the oil in that bracket, look. I'm intrigued to see. Excuse me, I'm out of breath. At least it's filmed in real time, isn't it? So you can see exactly how long it takes once it's in that vise. I think we'll just give that a wipe, not even clean it. Just clean off like that with a rag. Yeah, I like the look of that. Obviously, if you wanted to get a nice clean bracket, you could. I love that rust. You can just make out the Raleigh. It's taken, what, 1978. This bike is 77, 78. So it's taken 49 years for it to look like that. And bugger me, am I going to remove 49 years of heritage, history, patination? No. Right, easy job now. Headset locking up. Keep all the original bearings. Put them in a little tub and just give them a soak in some WD-40. I love that age track badge. I did give this a little wipe down the other night, WD-40 and a rag, and I love the colour change. I did wipe over this for a few minutes with a rag. I probably did remove some colour from that head badge, but it's a nice riveted head badge. Lovely old job. And now once the forks are out, as you know, hopefully I'll put a clamp and put like a handheld record vintage vice or clamp and just try and move those bars out like that. But yeah, well chuffed. Those forks are out. Bars are out, I should say. Right, let's get back into it. And that's the bearings out of the top part of the headset. And if I counted correctly, there's 22 bearings in there from factory, from stock. I very much doubt, I'm 99% certain that these bearings have never been removed. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. No need to buy new ones. Just need to get a bit of a clean up, some WD-40, and then fresh grease. And that remaining headset locking nut can go back in or back on. And then, lovely old job. Right, forks out. Nothing now holding these in. There'll also be some bearings underneath here, which I'll try and catch as well. Same method, and job done. And that's the fork cup removed. 1 foot out, 2 foot out when I was taking it out, and again 22 bearings in there as well, I believe. You can see, can't you? Never been removed. We'll reuse all of them, like I just said. Let's go over to the, let's put them there, that's it. Let's go over to the forks and see if the actual top tube or the tube is bent as well. Doesn't seem to be. That's absolutely fine. Many would disagree, but it sat flush in the frame when I got it out of the frame. Out of the bars, sorry. But yeah, that's cool. We can now look at these forks. So what we need to do, I've got a spare pair of forks on this other double bridge grifter frame that is currently for sale on eBay. Mannequin 9494. I want for this 150 quid. What do I do this one? This one came in as scrap or a parts bike. I've already got two, haven't I, other grifters. Well, I've got 4 grifters. So that's how I managed to afford to buy grifters. Occasionally some bikes come in as parts, don't they? But we can see the difference, how out that is. So that's there, and we're out by that much, roughly. Let's turn it around a little bit, so you can see exactly how far we're out. So we're doing it there, so we're out a long, long way. And that's the bars out, and thankfully no damage to them whatsoever. Sometimes a little ball bearing can get trapped along this tube here. I learnt this from the comments sometimes on Facebook on the grifter page. Little ball bearing can sometimes get caught in there. So when you try and get the bars out, a little ball bearing is literally trapped. But I think this is where the ball bearings sit, in this little wedge here. So when the bars are in, just spin it. Don't quote me, I'm not using I'm not using over technical phrases, but yeah, this is where your ball bearings sitting here. So I'm just can't get over how pleased I'm about those bars are out. You can now show you the back of this little cycling proficiency test. Try and get this up close now. See what it says. So proficiency, some sort of badge from maybe like a club. Very rusted on, and I'm so pleased it's not chipped. And that there is a back of a badge. You can see that screw, that nut is really rusty, but the bars aren't bent, as you know. I just said that, didn't I? Repeat myself a little bit, but it's hard to keep track of what you say when you're doing these sort of builds and these resto channels. Back wheel spoke protector isn't over bad. Just gonna get all the cogs out, give every cog a good clean. I might not even clean this wheel because that wheel is so... In the comments, what do you think? In the comments, get involved in the comments. If you've never commented before, let's change our perceptive. Get involved in the comments. Back wheel, do I even attempt to clean it up? I'm thinking not. I might not even go down the route of getting super grips for it. Those tyres are like nice knobbly period correct tyres. Just need a good clean. I might just give us... See, the spoke protector's nearly there, isn't it? I'm thinking a nice shiny, obviously clean this up. So not even like Autosol, just a rag. Clean that up. Just with an ordinary rag, like that. Not too hard either, because we're going to get that little indentation. Just wipe over, like that. And that, use that sort of like, resto sort of like wipe kind of thing. And is that now enough? I think it is, to be fair. This little bit here, get behind there. So obviously once this is out, give it a clean behind there. I think that's probably enough. I don't know. Cogger clean, give that a wipe, but keep that sort of like rat original paint sort of look going. I did begin to clean off some of the rust. I've said it before, I'm not going to get it painted, but I did bring back some of that blue. I'm thinking about adding decals to it, giving it... See, think about these bikes. If you keep them alive, you're keeping the soul, but you're bringing back the heart, aren't you? Almost. New grifter, rally grifter, rally grifter decals will bring back the heart, but it's keeping the soul, isn't it? With all these little, with all that patina and rust on it. Even the seat post stem. Yeah. Anyway, let's cut there and go to the outro. Quick sunny video, and we'll go from there. So quickly before I wrap it up, I've just thought out of the box. Yeah. Let's jam the forks in that vice there and move the forks out like that. Okay, I should use some sort of cloth, but bugger me, I can't be bothered. Let's just try and see if that gap widens a little bit. Oh my God. Has that worked? Has that worked? Have I done something else that's fixed? Right. Folks, if this has worked, I genuinely will be chuffed to bits. Keep the camera rolling. If you're watching this now, keep with it. Don't cut off. Don't fast forward, please. And then we can see if that's the same width. Right. I genuinely am quite excited by this. And if I'm out, how far out am I? We need to go another, what, centimetre. Right. And if I cause any damage to the forks, any dents, doesn't really matter. That way, innit? Excuse the shaky camera work, please, but we're there. Another little bit, and we're good to go. I think that's it. Spot on. Get in. Yes. Yes. Right. Right, front wheel. Right, stay with it. Stay with us. It's got to go in, obviously. Is it in? It's in that side. Yeah. And it's in that side. Obviously, the spindle's not straight, but that's got to turn round. Have I done it? Have I got those forks straight? We're a little bit bent there, aren't we? Are we? Done it. Come on. Come on. I'm well chuffed with that. Bars out that I thought were stuck. That can be complete sod to get out. But I need to put my back out with them buggers. But once you pull that bar, pull the grip down, or move the grip up, or work forth and back, you then get that leverage. You then get that WD-40 and you just work those bars. And just a simple case of putting it in that vise there, just moving those forks across. Look, I've probably put another 6 or 7 scratches on them, but I ain't bothered. Cotter pins out now and crank. Ooh. Do I need to get them out? The forks on. The crank is bent, isn't it? The arm is bent. Does it need fixed? No, I don't know. It does need fixing. But yeah, a great result on a Sunday afternoon. It's now Sunday afternoon. Still got my dressing gown on. And cracking result to the end of the week. A successful week on the grifters. Cracking result. And I can now begin the process nearly of addressing that frame and to see where I go with it in terms of decals. Still lots to do, but the fact those forks and bars are out, it's a game changer in my opinion. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like and comment. Get involved in the comments. I'll see you midweek on the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a safe week. I'll see you soon.